Hello, lovely. How are you? Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'm Dr. Nicola, one of the dermatologists here at the clinic. It's nice to meet you. How have you been? Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. So, what brings you to see me? Okay. I can see that. Alright. Okay. Alright, so you just confirm your name. And can I take your date of birth? Okay, so you would like a full skin assessment because you're curious about what's going on with your skin, but you are concerned about the blackheads, is that right? Okay, so general skin assessment. And concerned about blackheads. Okay, so do you have any other concerns at all? Okay. Okay, so under eye lines and dark circles. Okay. And that's it. Good. So overall, are you quite happy with your skin? Okay, that's good. Yes. All right. Lovely. So where do you tend to get your blackheads? Do they come and go? Are they there all the time? Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay. So between the breasts and a little bit of odd spots across here. All right. Okay. And what about your back? Okay, so you think you do have some on the back as well. Okay. Right, let me just recap. So general checkup, which I will be doing that, don't worry. Then you're concerned about your blackheads, which are on your nose and your chin and between your brows. Okay, you're also concerned about under eye lines and dark circles. Okay, then on your body, you're concerned about the blackheads in between your breasts, a few spots and breakouts, and then the same on the back. Is that right? Perfect. Lovely. So I know what we need to do now. Okay, lovely. So do you use any skincare? Okay. Okay, so you've got a staple skincare there. What is the brand? And how long have you used that for? Okay, and have you been getting on okay with it? And do you feel like it's still having a good effect or not? Okay. So you're not too sure what skincare to be using? Okay. That's fine. I can go through stuff with you a little bit later. Okay. Now, do you drink a lot of water? Okay, so that's not a lot, but at least you're drinking some. And do you have a lot of caffeine in a day? And do you vape, smoke, or drink alcohol? If so, how much? Lovely. Okay. Now, what is your diet like, my love? Okay, do you tend to eat a lot of cheese, a lot of chocolate, or... Okay. Oh, well, that's good. That's amazing. Okay. So you do quite have a good varied diet. Okay. That's lovely. Okay, so what I'm going to do to start with, if it's okay with you, I'm just going to have a really good look at your face before I touch. All right, and I will be jotting notes down as I'm doing so. All right, so There we go. Okay. Yes, it's quite a lot actually. Blackheads are really around all your nose, aren't they? It's quite a lot. On backwards, on the nose, okay. Right. Quite a lot on your chin actually. Definitely more on your nose. Okay, lovely. Can you just close your eyes? Thank you. You can open. Okay, can I get you to just smile? Okay, just hold it. Okay, you can relax. Okay, can you just frown? Okay, relax. Can you just raise your brows? Okay, relax. Okay. Can you just open your mouth? Okay, and just chew. Okay, good stuff. I'm just looking for any changes when you do different motions. Alright, just to see if there's any tightness, any redness, and if there's any lines and things like that. Okay. Lovely. Now, how do you find your skin day to day? Do you think it's a combination, a bit of dry, or... Okay, so overall you feel quite balanced. Alright. Lovely. Okay. Right. Okay. You're right. Good. Right, so I'm going to have a little look closer with a light. Alright. And I'm going to be using different colour lights just to see what I can pick up. Alright, so first one I'm going to use is a very bright light, so it may be a little bit too bright for you. If so, please close your eyes. Okay. I'll start on your chin. You can see some breakouts underneath the skin. Okay. Yeah, I can see a little bit of pigmentation. I could see it without the light, but it definitely shows up a little bit more now. Nothing too excessive though, my love. Okay. I can't really see any pigmentation on your cheeks, no. Yeah, there's a lot going on your nose, isn't there? I'm going to bring in a different colour light now. Alright. This one isn't as bright, okay? Okay. 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 Now I'm going to be using a purple light. Okay, this is going to show up any pigmentation, any blackheads, and any dead skin. Okay. Yeah, I can see a lot of blackheads. This actually shows up ones that you can't quite see. Yeah. You do have a lot of dead skin actually all over your face, and you didn't say that you used an exfoliator, but I can definitely see that you haven't been. Yeah. I can see a little bit of sun damage on your cheek areas, but it's definitely deep within, so you can't really see it on the surface. And again, I can see some more patches on your forehead, okay? I want to try and obviously protect those, not make them any worse. And we definitely need a really good exfoliation, my love. This seriously picks up a lot of blackheads, my love. There is very many there. I can see why they are bothering you. With this light, I can really see them. Okay, so you can see a lot more with this light than actually looking with my naked eye. Okay, I'm just going to jot the notes, okay. And purple seals of blackheads and skin and pigmentation on cheeks and forehead. Lovely. Okay. Right, so I'm just going to touch your face without any gloves on to start with, okay? I want to feel how your skin feels, if that makes sense, okay? Am I all right to touch? Okay. Okay. So your skin doesn't feel typically oily, okay? Just to touch, it looks pretty normal and it feels pretty normal. However, when I've gone on the nose area, it does feel very, very greasy, as does your chin, which makes me think you have probably normal to combination skin. All right, but your forehead isn't particularly oily, so it's literally just like the T bit here, like the bottom of the T. All right, now do you find that your skin ever gets oily during the day? Okay. Yes, that could be due to dehydration more than that, because here is fine and the majority of it is fine, but it's where you've got the most blackheads is where it is actually really quite oily. Yeah, and I'm just wondering if it's always like that, or is it just, you know, when you get hot and things like that? Yeah. Okay. It is very humid and it's very warm, and especially in here it is very warm, so that could be why your skin's getting a little bit oily. It's more like clammy from sweat and things like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take a sample just of the oil production. Okay, I'm going to use special oil paper, blotting paper, just to see what the oil is like. All right. Your chin. Okay. Oh yeah, there's definitely some oil around the nose, but not so much on the chin. Okay. So got chin and nose. Okay. I'm going to pop on some gloves. It's quite difficult popping on gloves in this heat. Okay. Am I okay to touch? Good. Now I can see some fine lines under the eyes, okay? Just smile for me. And obviously when you smile they are more, exaggerated. Okay, you can relax. Okay. must say your skin is very supple. Okay. And your skin is quite hydrated. Yeah, it's quite hydrated. Apart from under your eyes, it looks very dehydrated, and the fine lines that are there are looking more exaggerated. Now, I think you need to incorporate an eye cream or an eye serum or both into your skincare routine. Alright, we need to be popping something underneath the eyes. They are reaching out for extra moisture, my lovely. Okay. Extra water in the skin. Now, they don't appear dry, but the lines are suggesting that it's desperate for some water. Alright. They are a little bit on the dark side, just here and here. Alright, I can see why that is a concern. Now, it's because you're actually quite deep in there, so it's quite indented. So because of that, it's hollowing and it's causing a shadow. So the shadow is actually making it look darker than actually what it is. Alright, so brightening treatments under the eyes will be really good for you. And, you know, using like any vitamin C products, hyaluronic acid is a must, and under your eyes it will really help hydrate as well. And it will really help hydrate the whole of your skin, give it a nice plump. Yes, that'd be really good for you. Okay, and obviously an eye serum and an eye cream is important. Yeah, you are wanting to pop that under your eyes, dab, 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 in circle motions. Okay, always going upwards. Yeah, that will help the lines under your eyes that you are concerned about. Okay, I mean, it's expected to get lines anyway. They're not wrinkles, they are obviously lines that are formed. And, you know, you are quite young, so you haven't got to worry about, like, aging. But obviously, if you're not having an eye cream under there or a serum or any extra, like, hyaluronic acids and things like that, the lines are, you know, going to just gradually get worse over time. Alright, I mean, we all age, so that's understandable, but some people like to prevent it from getting worse. So if you want to do that, I'd recommend some of those kind of products. Yeah, there's some good ones on the market. Yeah, that will really help. And then if you get like brightening eye creams, they'll be really good for you as well. They'll really help hydrate. And also, if you haven't had a blood test for a while, then I'd probably recommend checking your vitamin levels as well. That'd be like a really good option. Yeah, then we can see if there's any deficiencies that are causing you to be quite pale under there. All right, okay. So let's feel. Yeah, okay. Not particularly, no, but when you frown, obviously there's a tad line through here, and that's probably what you're on about. Just sitting there looking at you now, I can't see anything, but if you do, say, frown or raise your brows and things like that, or scrunch your face, then obviously it does show up. All right, but that's expected, you know, these are expression lines, and that's kind of what happens. Same with these here, they're fine lines there. They're not typical crow's feet, my lovely, so don't worry about that. It's just literally where your dehydration line goes. It's just stretched up a little bit. So if we can get those a little bit more hydrated, that's going to help smooth those lines out a little bit. All right, you're welcome. So I'm quite happy with your face. Just needs a really good exfoliation. You've got lots of dead skin cells dotted all over on your skin, so you need to come and have a really good cleanse, double cleanse, a good exfoliation and steam, then an extraction to remove any of the blackheads as much as possible. Okay, it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable. I like to have a mixture of tools, fingers and a suction. Alright, so we should get as many out as possible, but you may have to come back again for, you know, another one, because there's a lot going on there. All right, I can't see any scarring, my lovely, on your cheeks, not even when I squeeze, so that's fine. I've got to worry about that. And the pigmentation is a few dotted around on your forehead that I can see, but that's it. Obviously the ones deep within, we want to stop getting worse, so make sure you are using an SPF. All right, and your skin feels quite nice. my gloves don't get stuck on your face. They didn't with my hands either. And I wouldn't really say it's oily, apart from a little bit around the end of your nose and maybe a little bit on your chin. All right, but as I said, it's very warm in here, so, you know, we perspire, so that could be why. And it was only really your nose on the oil sheet that looked more oily, whereas on your chin it just looked a bit more like water. All right, yeah. Okay. Let's see if I could just wiggle. Yeah, they are quite stiff actually. I'll try a chin. Okay, I'm just gonna sometimes I get my other light, have a look close up. Okay. Yeah, I can definitely see a lot. They do look quite deep actually. Same, they are looking quite deep. Yeah. Okay. Right. I'm just going to squeeze. Okay. Your chin. Okay, your nose. Okay. Lovely. Right, so I'm going to have a look at your chest now, if that's okay. Right, are we okay to begin? Okay. Okay, so your collarbone's fine. You do have some pigmentation on there, my lovely. Make sure you are putting SPF there as well. Yeah, and I can see what you mean about the couple of spots dotted around. They don't have a white head though, they're just literally little spots. Okay, let me have, am I okay to have a look? Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. It's definitely a form of acne between the breasts, my love. Yeah, sometimes they portray as just blackheads, but obviously looking here as well, you do have a couple of white heads that could easily be burst. Yeah. Now looking, it does look very oily. Okay. I'm just going to take an oil sample. Okay. Okay. Ah, yes, a lot of oil there if you see. Yeah, that's definitely oily. I'm just going to squeeze the blackheads. Yeah, they're very quite on the surface. A lot of those could be kind of popped in a little bit and then squeezed out. Okay. Yeah, and obviously these ones need to be coming out. We need to get rid of there, so we need to be exfoliating there and moisturizing there, okay, but nothing too oily. And we need to be having a steam there and then extracting as much as possible. Now you don't have a mass load, but there's enough there that need to be removed because it's just going to keep building up, my love. All right, and as you said, you are a little bit self-conscious with it. Yeah, so it's definitely a form of acne. So we do need to work on this section, okay, and really remove the blackheads. Okay, so my advice would be to do a double cleanse, an intense exfoliation, steam. All right, I probably put on a special acne mask as well. Then I will obviously tone the area to help close the pores a little bit, and then add on a moisturiser, okay, to really help moisturise the area. Okay, I think that's the first step. I do need to remove as many of those as possible just to free up that area, okay, and then I need you to be exfoliating there every couple of days. All right, and using a moisturiser there every couple of days as well. All right, and you can get a hypochlorous spray, which I think is the best option for you. So you just spritz it over here. It will help remove any bacteria, help prevent spots and things like that. So you can use that as a toner rather than actually buying a toner. All right, yes, I think that's that. So all this section we could do that with. All right, I will have a look at your back in a moment. But yes, so does that make sense? Okay, do you have anything else on your chest area? Okay, wonderful, so just there. So yeah, that's definitely acne, my lovely, so we do need to work on that. And obviously you've got the odd little spot here that just could be coincidental. It's very common, especially in younger generations, to get acne in the centre. All right, and on the back as well. So I will go and have a look at your back. Ah, yeah, so I can see you do have quite a lot of blackheads and some spots, actually, some whiteheads. So this is definitely mild back acne, okay? So I'm just going to squeeze going to check the oil. Okay, you all right? Good. So you do have back acne and chest acne. All right, it's not extreme, so don't worry. I want to start with a good cleanse, exfoliation, steam and extraction. All right, as I said, and your face, chest and your back, we could do with doing that. All right, yeah, and then we could apply some acne treatment in these areas. Okay, topical treatment, and if that fails, we can also go down the route of properly oral antibiotics. Okay, but there's so many different things that we could do, my love. So let's start somewhere and work our way up. Okay, so what I will do is write all this up, send it to you over a report. I will recommend all the products and treatments that I think is best for you. Obviously all the findings, and then I can send you over some dates so we can have an appointment and you can come and see me. Is that all right? Wonderful. Now please don't stress, all right? We can get this sorted and you are beautiful. All right, my lovely. I know it can be a little bit disheartening and makes us really uncomfortable, but we can sort this out. And like I said, on your face, you don't really have anything. It's literally just the nose and the chin, and it's just the blackheads. And on the chest area, there's only a couple of whiteheads. They're all just blackheads. And on your back, you know, a little bit of mix, so nothing too bad. I've seen a lot worse. Okay, you're very welcome. So I will get your doctor to carry out some bloods, and you know, we can go from there, and then I can see you maybe in a few weeks. How's that sound? Perfect. You're very welcome. You take care now. Bye bye.